Hey, what's up, guys? It's Russo and Jordy with Backdoor Fantasy Sports, and we've got some more NBA picks for you today. We've got a 9-game slate on February 26th, Wednesday. Excited to get into it. Had an okay day yesterday. My plays, I took Harrison Barnes over 5.5 rebounds and assists. He went for 7, and then took Evan Mobley dunks over 2.5, and he cashed for 3. Just barely got there, but still cashed it for us. How'd you do, Jordy?
Yeah, so I went 1-1. So I took the whole slip, and if you flexed it like I actually surprisingly did, you won the 1.5x on it. But Zion, man, he just didn't do anything in the first quarter, sadly. So he didn't get those rebounds. But Derek White killed it. He went. We took him over 23.5/24 PRA, and he went for 30. So he had a great game, thank God. But yeah. Quickly, I just want to shout this out really quick. Bean Daddy in the Discord put up a monster slip yesterday. Let me show this really quick. And the Discord got to eat thanks to him. I put 10 on it, but I think he put 30 on it and won like 750. So shout out to Bean Daddy. He made the Discord some money. I threw another one in Discord as well last night that pushed. But yeah, that's the value behind the Discord. It's not like we save our best picks for that or anything. It just happens to be like I made that slip right before the game. And sometimes your mind just moves different ways, you know, when you're not like, I was thinking, hey, what if Luka doesn't score a lot and he just gets a bunch of assists, and that ended up kind of happening. So you just think about things differently sometimes. So that's the value behind the Discord, is you just kind of throw in some other stuff that you like and it sticks sometimes. So shout out to Bean.
Oh yeah, for sure, man.
It was a good night.
Shout out to Bean. Yeah, like I know there's a lot of channels out there that are like, if you want my premium picks, sub to my Discord. That's not the way we do things. No. Just whenever you catch us, we're looking for the best plays. So when we make these videos, we're looking for the best plays and we're doing our best, you know. And then the thing about the Discord is we don't have to film a video every time we put plays together. So if we see plays we like, we just throw them in the Discord. The Discord gets these plays before we make the videos, so in case they get bumped or anything. But it's a community. It's not us being like, you know, you want to buy a yacht, come join my Discord. Like, but yeah. And I mean, like, speaking of the Discord, like I've got a newborn baby. I'm like not in there as much as I'd like to be, but I still, if I'm making slips, I try to share, you know. I'll get, you know, comfortable with my schedule and be more active in there. But yeah, it's like right now, it's not like I'm combing through that all the time and just on here looking for plays 24/7, but I make sure that they go in there whenever I put plays out. So
yeah, so like the video so we can buy Russo one of those crazy AI robots to take care of his baby.
Yeah, I need a Tesla bot.
Yeah.
That's exactly what I want around my child.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, if you guys haven't signed up for Better Parlay Play or Underdog yet, use code BACKDOOR and they're going to hook you up with some awesome sign up bonuses. And for Parlay Play, we're going to throw in a month in our premium Discord as well. So you can come be a part of the community and get all of the sign up bonuses. Just make sure you shoot us an email at bdfantasysports@gmail.com and we'll get back to you as soon as we can. Usually within 24 hours, they update us and they let us know, you know, we'll just get your username from you and we'll confirm that the code was used and you'll be good to go. Yeah, it usually doesn't take longer than that. Schedule's been a little bit crazy. So yeah, we'll get back to you as soon as we can. So let's talk about the plays we like for today. I'm going to be going with Sir Thompson, Usar. I'm probably saying that wrong. Yeah, one of the twins, both ballers. I like him over 1.5 dunks against Boston here. And then I'm going to be going with Aaron Wiggins in this game against Brooklyn. 15.5 PRA is what I'm feeling good about, so I'm taking that for more. What are you getting into, Jordy?
Yeah, I actually seen the other day, oddly enough, that they had both like averaged the same exact PRA throughout the last month as each other. I was like, it's pretty crazy, weird. They're twins and they average the same PRA. But anyway, yeah. I'm taking Chris Dunn for over 24.5 fantasy score, and I'm also taking Tobias Harris for over 24.5 fantasy score. And before he even picked it up, I put that Usar Thompson dunks in there, so I really like that play too. So glad you're taking that one. That's a steal for sure.
Yeah, man, 1.5 looks solid. The 2.5 Jalen Duren had me a little bit hesitant against Boston, but 1.5 felt good. So I'm going to be taking a chance on this one. Sweet. And yeah, I love that Chris Dunn play. Dude has been balling. I think he's kind of underrated too. Like he deserves the extra minutes he's been getting. So, all right, let's start breaking into it. If you guys don't mind, do us a favor, like the video, drop us a comment. It just helps us with the algorithm. You guys have been awesome about it. We're almost to 13,000 subscribers, which is crazy since we started this like 2 years ago. So we really appreciate it. So yeah, he's cleared this in 5 straight games, and I think he's only like 6 of 10, if I'm not mistaken. Well, I am mistaken. He's 9 of 10. So this looks good. I was like still comfortable with it if he was 6 of 10, just because he's been hot for the last 5. I mean, 3 or more. We only need 2. But yeah, he's gone for 3 or more in 7 out of his last 10, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, and then 9 of his last 10, he's cashed it. The minutes have been solid, 24 and a half minutes a game over this 10-game stretch. 3.7 fouls, so he does have a couple games here where he got close. He was probably in foul trouble in these games. But these look like blowout. This game against Atlanta was crazy, 148 to 143. So that kind of makes sense. Was that overtime? No overtime in that game, but very active. So we do need to make sure he stays out of foul trouble, but I don't think it's going to affect him getting 25 minutes if that's what he's averaging. If we take a look at the head-to-head, I know it's Boston, but he got it done last time he played them on December 12th, and he did that in 13.3 minutes. And then the first time he matched up against them was the year before, and he got at least one in 11.8 minutes. So if he gets those 25 minutes tonight, I think he should be good to be able to get us 2 again. Just like a low line for someone who's aggressive. And I'd like to see Amen actually get more active with dunking the ball, because dude has went on stretches where he's been just cashing the dunks a lot too, but he's kind of slowed down a little bit lately compared to what he was doing earlier in the season. But anyways, I do feel good about this one going over. Let's take a look here. See what Daily Grind thinks. Actually, I don't cover dunks. That's right. That's not what I spelled. That's AR, huh? There it is. So here's some other options if you don't want to take the dunks. They like just about everything for him. They like his points, rebounds over. They like his points over, PRA, rebounds and assists. Assists 2.5 does look good. Dang. I'm going to be throwing that in a slip. I honestly might have preferred that over the 1.5 dunks, to be honest with you guys. This has been cashing for me a lot. And Jalen Duren, this will probably be, if I can get this on my underdog streaks, I will definitely take this 2.5 assists over. 51.67% odds to the over, -124. The rebounds and assists at 8 look solid. Yeah, all these lines look solid for him. I know that it's Boston. So let's talk about that matchup here for just a second. I know it doesn't affect the dunks, but just in case you guys want to take something else, let's see. So small forward, it's tight. 3rd in points allowed, 6th in rebounds allowed, 3rd in assists allowed. Let's look at the head-to-head. So yeah, he didn't get much done. He went for 7 exactly in both matchups, but again, no more than 13 minutes. And we said he's been averaging 25 lately. So about 23 over his last 5 is what he's been averaging. So go with your gut, but these assists at 2.5 do look really good. And I caught the dunk prop before I caught the assist, but even before looking at this, I know that I've been high on his assists lately. So 4 out of his last 5 games, he's cleared those assists. And look at that, 9 out of his last 10 games. And then the one he missed, 1 more assist would have cashed it. So I'm just being honest with you guys. If I would have saw the assist first, that would have been my first choice. And that will be going into a lot of slips if we're getting that, because I've been taking his demon assists line quite a bit, and he's been cashing. Him and Duren have been just like on fire for assisting the ball. So, all right, we'll keep it moving, but you guys have plenty of options there. So Aaron Wiggins, I like this PRA. I was first looking at his fantasy score because he's done well with the fantasy score as well. But if you look at, I mean, like, honestly, it's just the blocks and steals in the head-to-head. Haven't been like 3 straight games with nothing. So that's why I decided, like, let's just go PRA. We don't need the defensive upside of the fantasy score. His last head-to-head, he went for 20 PRA. That was in 25.8 minutes. And if we look at these last 5, 3 out of his last 5, 1 more bucket in either of these games, and it would be 5 games straight. That would have cashed both of those. Happened to both be against Minnesota here. Look at all these games against Minnesota. He played them 3 times in the last 4 games. But yeah, 23.3 minutes, 8.3 rebound chances, 2.8 potential assists, 47% from the field on 10.2 attempts, and then 42% from beyond the arc, averaging 2 made threes a game over this 5-game stretch. And I think he might be up for a little bit of a minutes bump tonight. We'll see. He should at least get that 23. But I think OKC should be able to rout them. Yeah, so we have a 2-16 over under, OKC favored by 17, playing in Brooklyn. So I think that he should be able to be one of potentially the closers, you know, if they start emptying emptying the lineup and bringing in the bench, I think that he might get a little bit of an extended run, but we'll see. Maybe they just bench him too. But I think he's good for 23 to 25 minutes tonight, and I think he should be able to get us at least 16 PRA. The matchup, tough on paper overall. 8th in points allowed, 6th in rebounds allowed. Middle of the road for assisting. 6th in rebounds, 14th in assists allowed, and then to the shooting guard position, it's even tighter. 6th in points allowed, 1st in rebounds, 9th in assists allowed. So go with your gut, but I'm going to be taking the PRA for more. Again, fantasy score, I'll show you guys why I was kind of interested in the fantasy score. It's kind of a similar look here. Just like the good games have been a little bit better. Let me see what his blocks and steals have been lately. Yeah, see, he's been very active defensively. So maybe that's the difference. It's just if he's never gotten it done in the head-to-head. I mean, he played them as recently as January 19th, and it was 127 to 101, and he got about 26 minutes. So, I mean, you could also take the narrative that he's been great on defense lately, you know? So maybe you do want that fantasy score, but I'm going to be rolling the PRA. Let's take a look here. And so they like the PRA over. They have it at a 51.64% odds to hit the over minus 125. And then we've got some platforms bumping it up to 16.5. Most of them are at 15.5 still. Everyone at 15.5 has it favored to the over. Nothing too crazy, but as high as minus 130. They also like his rebounds over 3.5. And why are you correcting my... Okay. That's pretty late for a little autocorrect. So they don't like his points. The PRA is their favorite. The points are just slightly favored to the under over the 10.5. So go with your gut. You have plenty of options here. If you guys want to check out this app Outlier, it's killer. I love being able to dive into all these details. You can, go to all these different settings. Like you can go to different statistical categories. You can go to different time frames. You can take players in and out of the equation. You can adjust minutes. It's awesome. Okay, so one more thing I'll mention too for the matchup. I didn't even see this. He's got a soft matchup, so that he hasn't gotten it done in 3 straight head-to-heads, but the matchup to shooting guards for blocks and steals, 21st in steals allowed, 29th in blocks allowed. So maybe it is a night to take his fantasy score. I just want to give you as much information as possible while you're deciding what you'd like to take. But yeah, if you guys want to try this app out, it gives you information just like this. You can, see soft spots on different categories, but you can try this one out for free. You don't need to put in a code. Just sign up through the Outlier link below, and they're going to give you a week just to check this out, see how you like it. All right, Jordy.
All right. Yeah, so to get into mine here, obviously I've got Chris Dunn. I want to talk about this because Kawhi is obviously back tonight. I was just reading an article saying that they're saying like Kawhi is back in the worst way possible because he's probably going to be limited again with the injury he's been dealing with. But the last 2 games with Kawhi Leonard in, Chris Dunn has still gone for 39 fantasy score and 41 against Milwaukee too, who are kind of putting it together defensively sometimes. But, over the last 5 games, he's been kind of killing this. He's gone for 39, 28, 41, 15, and then 40. So if we look at the last 20, obviously you're going to see the games where he was not getting the minutes. And, in some of these games, still 19 minutes played, he went for 26 fantasy score against Portland, who are actually really tough. And, lately, his minute share shot up. He's playing about 20 to 35 minutes, just depending on the night. But this is a really good matchup for him against Chicago here. Chicago are not doing very good defensively. If we take a look here to the point guard position is what he's been playing. 22nd in points allowed, 24th in rebounds allowed, 30th in assists allowed. So heck of a matchup here for him. You can see he's been cashing that PRA as well. The PRA is sitting at 15.5. That's a goblin though. They're not giving us that line, or else I'd be taking that. But his fantasy score has been awesome. And if you take a look at this guy's blocks and steals, look at this. I mean, 7 blocks and steals. He had 6 steals, 1 block in this game, 5 steals against Detroit, 3 steals against Utah, 5 steals against Memphis, 2 blocks and steals against Indiana. Like, this guy's really, really good defensively. So the fantasy score being at 24.5, he could get more than halfway there in just blocks and steals alone with how this guy is. And if we take a look at the blocks and steals matchup here, I mean, look at the overall matchup. 16th in steals allowed, 17th in blocks. If we get a point guard, 16th in steals allowed, 28th in blocks allowed. So really a heck of a matchup for him tonight. I really like the fantasy score, so I'm going to be taking that over. No Norman Powell tonight, so that's going to help him a lot to not have to split time with Norm Powell. And I think that's another reason his minutes have been going up pretty high, is because obviously there's been no Quiet or Norman Powell. So I like this a lot, and going to be taking that. His points rebounds at 12 are the highest play. The fantasy score is not on here for some reason, but yeah, I mean, I think it looks good. The points assists are at 11.5. His assists are at 3.5. You can take whatever you want, but I like the fantasy score with that defensive upside I just showed you. So that's what I'm going to be rolling with. And then Tobias Harris, kind of same thing. Playing against Boston tonight, obviously going to be a tough matchup, but this is the head-to-head against Boston. He's gone over this 5 out of 7 games and just barely missed it in the most recent matchup here on the 24th of December was the last time they played. Dang, it's been a little bit, but yeah, he went for 23.1. If we take a look at his last 20 games, he's gone over this in 13 of his last 20, 4 out of his last 5, just missing it by 0.2 in that last one there, and 8 out of his last 10. So he's almost 9 for 10 on this one. So he's just been playing really well. Obviously, his rebounds, assists are major juiced at 6.5 to go over, minus 138. That's a great line for him. If you take a look at his rebounds, assists here, he's been killing that line. He's gone over that 68% of the season. But I really like the fantasy score. He's gone over that 70% of the season because there's defensive upside with him as well. I mean, you can see some of these games, he's going for 5 blocks and steals, 4, 3, 2. He's always a good defensive player, and he's going to get you a bunch of rebounds, a bunch of blocks and steals. But he's been actually scoring the ball pretty well lately. You can see his points are set at 14.5. They're an EV plus to go over 14.5. So if you just like the points, you can take that. He's hit that 8 out of 10 games, but I just like it all together because I think he's going to do it all. I think he's going to get the rebounds, assists. If he gets us a block and steal or 2, that's going to be good. If we look at his turnovers, he's not really been turning the ball over a whole ton. He's only gone over the, this is set at 0.5, but if we just take a look at 1.5 turnovers, he's only turned the ball over 18 times for the 1.5 line. So he's not going over 1.5 turnovers a whole lot. So I think there's a lot of value behind the fantasy score with a guy who's being very clean with the basketball. So obviously it's Boston, but Detroit have been putting it together this year, so they're not as bad. They're not just getting stomped. They actually look pretty good. So I think they'll make it competitive tonight with Boston. Obviously it's Boston, you can only hope. But if we take a look at the other side of the ball, we got Kristaps Porzingis, game time decision with an illness, Sam Hauser with a back injury, Jaylen Brown, a game time decision with a left thigh. So it could be a big night. It could be a big night to take Derek White again. Honestly, I was looking at him too. But these are the 2 plays I really feel the best about tonight. So far, this is what I'm liking. I love the Usar Thompson dunks as well. I'm going to be putting more slips in the Discord later. I'm sure Russo will as well. But that's what I'm feeling so far. So if you guys want to check out the optimizer from Daily Grind, go check it out. You can see here they have the Tobias Harris. Rebounds, assists, major juice to go over. The points are minus 131 to go over 13.5. So there's a lot of value to be had with Tobias Harris. His full fantasy or PRA is a 123 to go over. So they like the over for just about everything for him. So loving it too. If you want to check this out, go to dgfantasy.com. Use code BACKDOOR and they're going to give you 25% off for as long as you want to lock that in for your very first purchase. So that's going to cover it all for me.
All right. Well, if you guys want to come join our Discord, you can take advantage of the Parlay Play promo. Use code BACKDOOR. You'll get a month in our premium Discord. Just make sure you email us at bdfantasysports@gmail.com. And yeah, once again, shout out Bean. That was awesome. I got it right here. There's that 6-man. Bro, nicely done, man. I missed this one. I've been super busy. I haven't been in here that much, but I know, Jordy, you took advantage of this, and it looks like a lot of people were able to jump on this slip that Bean put out, 6-man cash. And it's good to have Bobby back too. I saw that he's back in the mix. Missed that dude. But yeah, if you want to skip the Parlay Play deal and you want to just jump right in, you can sign up through Patreon. It just manages our subscriptions. So you sign up over there and then you go into the settings. There's a connected apps option in the menu bar. And then you just log into Discord straight from there. I forgot to mention at the top of the show, but we started our own channels too. Again, with the changes in schedule lately, we live in different time zones. It's been great for us to be able to just put out plays, put out videos on our own as well. Mine is just at JRussoBDFS. and Jordy's is at Jordy BDFS. So you can come follow us there for extra content. I'm going to try to put out some more pics in a little bit over on my channel, but it's been a really busy day, so I'll have to see if I have time for that or not. But definitely come subscribe. Jordy also covers esports, which is really cool. They've been really active in the Discord. They do esports kind of overnight. I know it's more than just overnight, but it seems like they're most active on these like overnight matchups.
They're usually at about 3 a.m, so it's kind of like making money while you sleep kind of deal.
For sure. And then if you want to follow us on our socials, it's just at BackdoorFS on X, TikTok, and Instagram. You can come over there and say, hey, come give us a follow. And we appreciate you guys tuning in. Good luck on this slate, and we'll catch you in the next video.
Good luck, guys.